It is Thursday, February 9th, 2023, and today we are going back to WrestleMania 3, March 29th, 1987. It was the match right before Hulk Hogan fought Andre the Giant on the card. It was the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkoff versus the Killer Bees, two tag teams of the time, which were also made into LJN wrestling figures and were pretty big stars at the time. Not Hulk Hogan big, but they were well known enough to be on LJN action figures. So I'm simulating this tag team. In the original match, Hacksaw Jim Duggan came in and the Killer Bees got disqualified, and Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkoff won. And Slick was with Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkoff, a manager at the time. So we got B. Brian Blair on the apron and Jim Brunzell in the ring against the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkoff's on the apron. So I have the 80s ring style today for the match, which the ring looked like at the time. It's actually the first time I saw the blue mat around the ring. It was WrestleMania 3 when this match happened. Also on this card was the classic Ricky Steamboat versus Macho Man Randy Savage that day. And it was at the Pontiac Silverdome in Michigan. 93,173 was the listed attendance. And we got some outside the ring action here with the Bees and the Sheik going at here. The Iron Sheik. There was another wrestler called the Sheik, but this is the Iron Sheik. Now the pants the Sheik have on is like the LJN figure. If you look up the LJN figures, the Iron Sheik had those tights on, and the Bees had the same look as the figures. If you're a collector. So B. Bryan got a knee to the back of the head there on the Sheik, working on the arm. And 2 minutes into this, so Hacksaw Jim Duggan's not gonna come in on this match. I did find a created Hacksaw Jim Duggan, though I could have set that up, but I'm just doing the match. We'll see who wins. I think I have this to set the pin only, so this will end in a pin. These are great creations I found on the community creations. I like how the community creations is cross-platform with the PC, the Xbox, and the PlayStation. So you populates the community creations quicker than it would if it was separated, like it used to be separated. But starting with 2K22, they have cross play on the community creations, so you get a lot more wrestlers in there quicker. Especially when the game first comes out, you want it to populate fast. The Iron Sheik with a knee. Iron Sheik was the one who beat Bob Backlund for the title at Madison Square Garden on December 26, 1983. And then lost it to Hogan on January 23rd, 1984. So he was kind of had the belt for about a month, just under a month. Let's see, we got some guys already red here. B. Brian Blair already has his body's already red and beaten up. There's the Sheik, works him over. Nikolai's just standing there. Maybe he's thinking about going to dinner after the match or something. He's like, I can get some steak or something. He'll kick out there. Nikolai comes in. Yeah, so there they go. They always break up the tag. They always come in, and there's a pin going on. They break up the tag, which I always wish they could turn off. It's good to have the option on, so you can do it if you want, but just turn it off and just let it have like a clean match, clean finish, with no interference, like Fire Pro Wrestling World does on PS4, or you can play it on PS5 too. It was made for PS4. Sheik with a nice clothesline there. Yeah, Iron Sheik had some match. He fought Andre the Giant, and of course Hulk Hogan and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and he fought all the greats of the time period, the 80s there. And he won the Legends Battle Royal, and I think it was '99, WrestleMania 15, maybe it was. I think it was one of the WrestleManias around there. He won that Battle Royal where they had a lot of the gimmick battle royal. I think they called it from a lot of wrestlers from the 80s and 90s came in, and I think Slaughter was in it, and I think Mean Gene and Bobby Heenan called the match. I think that was the 15th WrestleMania in '99. So we're coming up on the 39th WrestleMania. Does anybody see AEW last night? Had the championship matches. Had MJF was there. It's a good show. Who's watching Impact Wrestling tonight? They got that. New Japan's on right after it. If you watch that wrestling, I know there's a lot of wrestling on. It's hard to watch all of it. I watch what I can. I mostly watch WWE, but I try to check out all the wrestling I can because I just love watching it. Let's see who's gonna get him here. No, he kicked out. Nikolai's tough. He's a force to be reckoned with, as they used to say. All right, Jim Brunzell here. Jim Brunzell used to have like the great drop kick. He used to end matches with the drop kick. The Killer Bees is one of the great tag teams. The 80s had great tag teams of Killer Bees, the Rockers, the Hart Foundation, the British Bulldogs. And then they had Demolition, Powers of Pain. It's personally my favorite time for tag teams in wrestling. I mean, now you got good tag teams now. The Usos are in there, and you got Imperium and stuff like that. But they're like a faction, I guess, but they tag team too. But the 80s tag teams, they were they're my favorites. I don't know if you like them or not, but who else they had? They had Powers of Pain. I know the Legion of Doom. They were Road Warriors, and they came over to WWE in the early 90s. They were the Legion of Doom. I think they showed up at WrestleMania 8. Then you had the Young Stallions, Paul Roman, Jim Powers, and the Bushwhackers, the Natural Disasters, Bossman and Akeem. All those great tag teams. If you remember any of those teams, or if you go back on the network and watch them. Used to love the Hart Foundation versus the British Bulldogs. So they had great tag matches. So Jim Brunzell's working. Oh, Nikolai's coming back now. And let's see the referee. I wonder if this is a dirty ref and he's paid off by Sheik and Volkoff to make sure they win. Who knows? Oh, nice. I like the Ultimate Warrior shirt in the crowd there. It's a Jake the Snake shirt, Hart Foundation shirt. What else they got in it? Yeah, a couple of Jake shirts. That was an Andre shirt back there. I love that. They have all the cool shirts back there. Different matches, different shirts. Different. Depends on what arena you use and what crowd you use when you create the arena. All right, Sheik with like a suplex type move there. Going to tag out. Here comes Nikolai. Looks like the NWA Jim Crockett had good tag. The Midnight Express and the Rock and Roll Express were good too. I remember Dusty and Nikita Koloff teamed up. Then after the Koloffs, Ivan and Nikita. We Crusher Khrushchev was Demolition Smash. That was good too. All right, Nikolai's going for. Here comes B. Bryan. See if he can get him in time. Oh, he missed him. Oh, he kicked out anyway. He just completely missed him with an axe handle there. All right, here comes the Bees coming back here. Jim Brunzell. Let's see what Nikolai does here as he's getting. He's working the knee over in the rope there. Jumping Jim. Yeah, Jim Brunzell. I think they were single tag. The single match. They had single matches there before they were the Killer Bees. Jim Brunzell and B. Bryan. They were fighting in WWF in singles competition, and then they put them in tag team around 1987, 86, I guess, somewhere in there. That's when they put them together. Because I think in '85 they were singles wrestlers, if I'm remembering correctly. All right, B. Bryan kicks him right in the face. That wasn't nice. A lot of finishers are not using here. Oh, look at B. Bryan. Nice move. Look at this. B. Bryan Blair got one finisher. Brunzell got two. Iron Sheik got two. They got to use some finishers here. As we're 10 minutes into the match. And now he's choking him, ref. What are you doing? Ref's just letting him choke. See, the ref don't care. He's letting him choke him. Oh, he missed the elbow drop there. That'll give you a negative attitude. Remember, Gorilla used to say that with the body parts, the precipitable obtuberance and stuff like that. If you used to watch Gorilla, he used to use big words for body parts. I used to laugh. He'd hit him. He'd hit him somewhere, then he'd say the real technical term for the body part. That was always funny. He was good. Him and the first 6 WrestleManias, Gorilla, Monsoon, and Jesse Ventura. They were good. They called it good. And then WrestleMania 7 and 8 with Gorilla and Bobby. My favorite duo as announcers was definitely Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan. They did a great job together. Then that led into Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler. All right. Tag in Jim Brunzell. See what he's got today here. There's the drop kick. That's it. Let's see. See if Nikolai stops this. No, he caught it. See, I hate that. He might have had him, and Nikolai interfered with it. It's more fun watching it. For me, you watch it on TV and they interfere, you don't mind it. But when you're having a match and the guy interferes, it drives you crazy sometimes if it happens too often. All right, picking up the Sheik here. Iron Sheik. He was with Freddie Blassie would managed Sheik and Volkoff too before Slick. And Freddie Blassie was a great manager. He was a character. The managers at that time were the best. Captain Lou, just like the tag teams, the Captain Lou and Jimmy Hart and Mr. Fuji, and of course Bobby Heenan and Luscious Johnny Valiant. And they were all good. Of course, they were all characters. And Macho Man, they were all trying to get Macho Man, and that's when Elizabeth came out. I think that was in the fall '85 when that happened. But they were all the managers. When Macho Man came in, all the managers were fighting to manage him. And he went on to be Intercontinental Champion and then the Heavyweight Champ. See if he gets him here. Nope, kick out. 12 minutes in, long match. The tag matches always last longer because there's more guys to wear down. Oh, nice punch there. Oh, nice, yeah. Look at that forearm smash by Brian knocking Nikolai down. See, everybody's body's red. They're all beaten up pretty good here. I wonder if they want to wrap this match up, so go get some steaks. They're probably getting hungry, probably working up an appetite. Some mashed potatoes, some steaks afterwards. Or maybe they just want some coffee. Who knows? It's a thing. But I don't know. They all went for coffee afterwards. Probably went for dinner. But the Killer Bees, they probably went and got honey, I guess. They're the bees. All right. And so Nikolai rolls out. See what happens here. We blocked him. Atomic drop. That hurts. So Nikolai was he was like a bad guy, and then he became a good guy like later on. He fought Bruno Sammartino for a world title in the '70s. He fought Bruno, and then when Bruno's prime, I guess, was the '70s. He went '60s and '70s, but I think his best time was the '70s. But maybe it was the '60s. It's hard to tell because there's some of Bruno's matches on the network from the Garden. They're good. He fights superstar Billy Graham. I think that's on the network, and I think he fights George Animal Steel, and I know he fights Nikolai Volkoff. Good old Bruno. He was at the end of his career in the '80s. He was there a little bit, and then I think his last match was in '87. Bruno Sammartino, I think. But then he went in the Hall of Fame in 2013. I think Bruno went in 13. All right, let's see if he gets him here. A big elbow drop. 2. Got him. So the Killer Bees win. All right, I will see you tomorrow for another big match. Bye-bye.